Antaryascha bahirvidutatimiram jyotirmayam shashvatam sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanamunmulayan pashyan vishwamapidamullasatiyo vishwasya pare paraha Tasmai Sri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namah Satpratyaya Kimnu Vihaya Santam Hriddesha Chinta Rahito Hritakya Katam Smaramastamameyamekam Tasya smritihi tasya dridaiva nishta. In this beautiful text by Sri Ramana Maharshi of his own method of thinking, inquiring into the nature of the self, is a basic and a straightforward answer to samsara bandha vimuktihi is atmanishtha, abidance in the self. We are none other than, as Gurudev would put it, bundle of the past. We are product of the past. In the product of the past being Jivatvam. This Jivatvam is the one which is actually binding us. And this, as an individual, we are subject to likes and dislikes. And this samsara bandhana is what need to be overcome. And it is possible here and now. What needs to be done? Recognizing that the one which is all-pervading presence in us, within and without, is the one which is eliminating all our thoughts. In the verse number 24, we concluded in the last session. Diye prakasham paramo vitirya swayam diyontar pradibadis gupta diyam paravartya diyontaretra samyojananneshvara drishtiranya. Ishvara drishtihi samyojanat na anya. Anya. Ishvara drishti means vision of the Lord is none other than diyaha sanyojanat, by uniting our intellect into that which is illuminating the very intellect itself. Diye in the buddhi, prakasham that very illumination. Paramo vitiryaha. Paramaha, this very supreme reality. That which one? Diye prakasham vitirya. Having given, bestowed its own light to the intellect, the Buddhi is considered to be the closest possible entity to consciousness. Swayam diyaha antaha prabhibhati guptaha. Swayam guptaha. It is hidden in the Buddhi itself. Swayam diyaha antaha guptaha. It is hidden within the very intellect itself. Prabhibhati shines. How do we then recognize its presence? It is like you are going to meet someone in another city whom you have not met before, and you are going in a flight to meet that person, and having taken the flight and you are sitting there, there are so many other passengers also, and a person comes and sits next to you. He's also going to obviously the same destination. And you started to converse, and in the conversation, you talk about everything else, about world politics, economy of the world, war, share market, this and that, because it's a 1.5 hour journey. Then after having conversed, when the time to get off from the flight comes, you exchange the pleasantries, all the best to you, etc. And then, just before he took off, and you also came out of after coming out of the airport, and you both are waiting for the car. And just before he got into the car, your car has not yet come. Before he got into the car, he gives his card. Nice to meet you. Here is my card. And then he goes away. So then you open that, whatever card he gave, you just look at it. You realize that is a person you are about to meet. You have come all the way from another city only to meet him. What would go in your mind? अरे बाबा इतना देर उसके साथ ही थे, साथ ही था मैं. I was traveling with him all 1.5 hours, spoke about many things. And finally, I realized after he left, that is the one whom I have come to meet. Next day only you are going to meet, so you again. So, this is a small situation. What I'm trying to say is, we have been with this self hidden within us for lives. Not yesterday, today, every day before. Many lives we have been looking for that one, or we are indirectly looking for the completeness, happiness, fulfillment in our life, which can be obtained only when we come to realize this self as oneself. उसको जिसका देखा भी नहीं, उसके बारे में सोचा भी नहीं. Thinking that it is available somewhere outside, and I have been searching. And then I realized slowly, what am I searching is already there within me. Diyam paravartya. Paravartya means turning it around. Avruttaka chashuhu bhutva, Upanishad would say. Pratyagatma rupam darshitum. for the sake of realizing the very innermost self, Diyoho antare atra samyojanat, atra here. Diyoho antare, within the intellect, samyojanat, uniting, anya, other than that, na Ishvara drishti. There is no other realization of God. It is not in a particular temple or in a form or in a place of worship. It can be there, but more pronouncedly, it is within you. And once you have found within you, where you will not find it? Aap kahan nahi the? Wherever you go, you are there. Can there be a place where you go where you are not? So when Prahlada was asked, where is God? He is everywhere, because wherever I go, he is there. As me, as who? As me, as my own self. How can I not be? How can the self not be when I am there? So Mahatmas, whichever temple they go, whichever be the place of worship they go, they invoke the Lord there. And when we come to know such a Mahatma came and consecrated this temple, meaning he invoked the presence of the self of Paramatma into that particular deity. And for whom is that? For those who are in tune with that, they will get it there itself. It is like you take a selfie. Wherever you go, you can take a selfie, right? The phone is there. Selfie ke liye kuch aur jagah is not necessary. There is no other special place you need to take selfie. Selfie is possible because you on the phone. Wherever you are, you can take the picture. Similarly, wherever I am, I am. Whichever place I go, where there is no temple, there is no place of this. Maybe a totally a solitude where nobody lives. वहां पे उसको आपको देख सकते हैं, आप देख सकते हैं भगवान को. कहाँ है? दियोरंतरे अत्र संयोजनात्. हृदय अंतरे वियोजनान् निवर्त्य मूलस्थाने यत् संयोजनं तस्माद् ईश्वर दृष्टिः अन्या न भिन्ना न भवति. Now, other than that, there is nothing called Isha Darshanam Swatma Rupatah. But why is that we are not able to do that? Why is that we are not able to turn our attention? Yesterday also I was talking to someone about this attention. Yeah, awareness is an attention. Every thought that goes through in our mind is leading us towards some decisions. Thought that we become aware of is somehow taking a form of a decision. You probably, when you are busy with something else, suddenly the thought came after I sent the email to you about the Saddarshan class is there today. You forgot, let us say. Suddenly you remember, another 10 minutes there is a class. So the thought has arisen in you because you, yesterday when you received the email, you took a decision. What? I need to attend the class. That decision has been reminded to you in the form of a thought, and when the thought arose in your mind, oh yes, in 10 minutes I have to, or 5 minutes I have to. So the thought is leading you to make a decision of sitting for the class. Or before I take the class, I need a coffee. Thought has come. You make a decision to have it before the class or after the class. or during the class. The thoughts keep coming. So when we are traveling with the thoughts and doing things in this world, we do not have the ability to pause. Who am I? Am I my thought? Am I this body? Am I this passing emotion? Am I this pride and arrogance? Am I this miserable one who received some unwanted or undesirable message? Who am I? Who is illuminating every thought? What is that which makes me aware of my thoughts? Where is it? The Yoho Antare. That's why in the last class I said that in a pot with the full of holes, the light within appears to express itself as many lights. Even though one light is there, because of the holes through which it is emanating its light, it appears to be many lights. In the same way, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, hands, legs, speech, anus, reproductive organ, 10 different ways it is expressing. Then mana, buddhi, ahankara, chittam, antakranas. And in every thought, pradibodha viditam madam. Pradibodha viditam, bodham bodham prati. In every thought, expression of the eliminating of the consciousness taking place, elimination of the consciousness. So therefore, why is that I am unable to at this point? Because it is we are not trained to do that. Our habit has been to travel with the thoughts, with the emotions, with what is going on. We never have a time to turn around and look at. So the next verse number 25, is going to talk about that. Navakti deho hamidi prasuptau nakopi na bhuvamidi pravakti yatrodide sarvamudeditasya diyahamashodaya janmadesham navakti deho hamidi prasuptau nakopi na bhuvamidi pravakti yatrodide sarvamudeditasya diyohamashodaya janmadesham. Deha aham iti navakti. Navadati. The deha aham asmi iti navadati. Body doesn't ever say I am, does it? Body itself. Deha aham iti navakti. And so body by itself does not acknowledge its own presence by speaking, by saying, by doing anything. Kyun? Jada hai. It is inert. Born out of inertness cannot be a Chaitanya Rupa. What is body born out of? Food. Food is Jadam or Chaitanya. Inert or sentient. Food is Jadam only. Annam Jadam. The food is not life. Food can sustain life. So, prasuptau sushukti kale na kopi na abhuvam iti pravakti. In the sleep, one does not know oneself existing, but does not, after getting up, deny that he was existing. So nobody says, I was not during the time of deep sleep. I was not aware of myself. That's all. See, if I am here, obviously I am not there in the next room or in your home. So I would say, I was not in your home. I was not in the other room. Presently, I am not there in the other room. Presently, I am not there in your room. In your room means virtually I am there, but physically I am not there. But even though I'm not there in your room or in your house or in another room presently, but I am not absent. I am here, present. If I'm not here, if I'm not there, if I'm not another place, I'm somewhere. So in sleep, where was I? I was not available to the world, obviously, but doesn't mean I disappeared. So that means in that room, I'm not there. Even though I'm not there in that room, but I'm here. Somewhere I am. Body does not claim itself. In sleep, I have not become absent. So when is that I come to feel I am as full awareness? When is it? Yatra udite, yasmin udite, actually. Upon raising of which, sarvam udeti, everything wakes up. What is that upon waking up? Everything becomes as though woken up. As soon as you get up from the sleep, of the deep sleep, and you wake up, you become hungry, you're thirsty, you're tired, or you are fresh, and you have all the plans coming to your mind, what needs to be done for the day. All that, where was it before you woke up? You waking up means what? What woke up? Yatra udide sarvam udeti. Tasya janmadesham di ahamaha janmadesham diya shodaya. Shodanam kuru. Please start inquiring into what is that upon which waking up. Everything seems to be awake or aware. What is that? And where does it start? What was this that is absent in sleep? And what is that is present now? If consciousness was absent in sleep, you would be dead. That it can never become absent. Consciousness detached from the body means you are dead. Meaning, what is the difference between Jadam and Chaitanya? A living being and an inert being, the difference is one is alive, one is not alive. What do you mean by life? Can you find out where it is? Illuminated by consciousness, a thing is alive. Not illuminated by consciousness, one is dead. That means if you are saying in sleep, I do not have consciousness, then you must be dead. It's as good as a bed or a rock. Whereas even though I slept, I was not dead. Meaning what? Presence of consciousness was there even as I slept. But even though consciousness was present in the sleep, I was not aware of anything else. So what is that which wakes up in the morning along with me as I wake up? Or what is that I call it as waking up? Because of who's awakened, when it is awake, everything seems to be there. I'm aware of. Yatra udide sarvamudeti. Tasya janmadesham shodaya. So now the inquiry is, when I wake up only, I recognize myself as an individual. What is individual? I'm different from you. I have hunger and thirst. I need to do this. I'm subject to birth and death. I am of the nature of joys and sorrows. I have gain and loss, success and failure. I'm good or bad. I'm right or wrong. I want this, I don't want this. What is this world of my individual world seem to have been absent in whose absence and seem to be present in whose presence? It is not consciousness because it is always present. Something else. What is it? What is its janmadesham? What is its starting point? What is it, first of all? In this way, Shodaya. Shodaya, start questioning it. Deha navakti. Deha shariram ahamiti navakti. Nabraviti. It doesn't say. Tasma deha na ahamiti spashtam. Since the body cannot claim its own presence by itself, therefore, I am not the body. Because I am, the feeling, the notion of I am is not the body. If it is so, the body should always feel its presence. It's absent in sleep. It is absent in waking, in the dream state. Prasupto nidrayam na abhuvam na asam iti na kopi pravakti. In sleep, I was absent or I have disappeared. In this way, nobody says. Na katsva kasyapi na asam iti matir bhavati. Sharira vilakshanaha kopi. Other than the body, there is someone or something, and other than the consciousness also something is there. Sharira vilakshanaha kopi nidra jagaranayoho visheshana anugataha aham asmi iti bhavaha. So, in the state of waking and the state of sleep, between these two, there is a marked difference. In the state of sleep, there is no awareness of my own being, not that I was absent. And in the state of waking, I seem to have a full awareness about this body. That means body which was not there or aware of its own presence in sleep cannot be the aham. And the consciousness which is always there cannot be the aham, because if it is so, then in sleep also it should say that aham aham iti. There is something which is absent in waking, in the deep sleep state, but seem to be present in the waking state. That means it is not there in sleep. It is only subsided, not becoming fully active. And in the waking state, it becomes fully active. That means what? There is something else which is there between the Jada Swarupa Shariram and Chetana Swarupa Atma. Kopi. Yatra yasmin ahamakye bhave udite udgate pravritte sarvamudeti manasindriya gocharam bhavati. See, it is not something which you don't know. You know the answer. This is the sense of I, the notion of I, ahankar. It borrows the consciousness and applies to the body. It borrows both. It borrows the nature of consciousness and identifies with the inert body. So you can neither call it as conscious nor you call it as inert. Because if it is inert, it cannot be conscious. If it is conscious, it cannot be inert. So it has borrowed both. It is as the example of the heated iron ball. The heated iron ball, even though it is still iron, a iron ball which does not have its own heat, it's cold. But the iron ball have a particular form, has a particular form, round, that belongs to the iron ball. But then it is hot. The heat comes from the fire. So the fire, when it is in touch with fire, the iron ball seems to behave like fire. In the same way, this entity behaves like consciousness, but having inertness in itself. Its very formation is inert, but the behavior is consciousness. Tasya aham pratyayasya aham bhavasya va janmadesham diya shodaya utpattisthanam sukshmaya buddhya parikshasva. Atra ayam acharya shloka bhavati ahamiti pravrtihi ahamiti smritihi kvanuvibhasate idam anusmaran mahati liyate. Find out what is the starting point of this? What is the cause? Where does it originate from? Ahankarasya moolayam shodaya parikshasva. Examine, inquire, vicharam kuru. This is called Atma Vichar. Kahan se aa raha hai? Notion of I, where does it originate from? It cannot be the body, nor it can be the consciousness, all-pervading presence. Then what is it? Does it have a real presence or a phantom existence? See, in contemplation, when you sit down, no doubt you may bring in the Upanishad mantras or Gita shlokas into your mind. That is for you to correlate or cohesively think about something necessary. But real inquiry is not some words. Real inquiry is not some mantra. Real inquiry is not some remembrance of some shlokas. It is inquiry into the nature of ego, which does not need to be worded. See, when I say I'm angry, I'm not looking for words. My anger is a feeling, is not a statement. If I say I'm happy, what is the word for it? What is the need for word? I'm happy. So the happiness, even if I'm not expressing to anybody, telling anybody, I know, right? There's no need for explanation or a word or a picturization, nothing. I know I'm happy. I know I'm angry. Similarly, ahankar ka roop nahi hai. And it will come later, the next few words later, 2 layers later. Uska roop nahi. There is no form. But I know it. All of us know there is a sense of I. So Janmasthanam means what? Is it Janmasthanam means it is having a physical form? No, it is not. What is that which creates the notion of I? What makes me feel this body I am, this thought I am, this so and so I am? What is that which, where does it originate? And when you sit for in a quiet contemplation and think about it, you may get it a little bit here and there. But when you are interacting with somebody, let us say someone who is whom you don't like, or let's say somebody whom you like. Oh, this person I like, this person I. So when you have a feeling of affinity, attachment, or what happens is I comes. I like it. I don't like it. I want it. I don't want it. At that point, where is this starting? Is it because of that person? That person whom I like or the person whom I don't like is not responsible for my likes and dislikes. It's only a catalyst to create that notion. Because I see another person, that person also I like. So you cannot say this is the only person who creates that like in my mind. If I ask you, do you like vada? Yes. Do you like laddu? Vada? Yes. So tell me which one creates that like in you, vada or laddu? It's both. And there are umpteen other things. It's not only laddu or vada. So many things. So where is the origin of the notion? I like it, I don't like it. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita chapter 7, Ichchatvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata. Because of the delusion created by likes and dislikes in the form of duality. Sarva bhutani sammoham sargeyanti parantapa. At the time of creation of their own body in the womb of the mother, all living beings go into that state of delusion. So these likes and dislikes that we possess are not necessarily caused by a particular object. It is a tendency. It's a behavior. So if I say I like a person or I like a thing, that likingness is not because of that person per se. It's because of a particular aspects of the person whom I like, wherever, whoever has it. Let us say the way he smiles or she smiles, I like it. If somebody else similarly smiles, you will still like that other person also. It is like you go to a hotel and you order for a roti or you order for a, what do you call it? Channa Bhatura. That's what Channa Bhatura, whatever. Okay, let us say Bhatura. And you like it. In some other city, you order the same thing and he makes a similar taste. You like that also. So what is the cause? Cause is not that person or that particular hotel or a particular cook. It is that particular taste that we have. When it matches, then you say like it. So what is that original one whom you are trying to match with? So this way, so many things are there in our personality. So what is the Mulasthanam? What is that which has this ability or tendency to create this database of things? What is that? Janmasthanam. Which is the composite of all these gathered memories. So when I am interacting with the people, when I have the notion of likes and dislikes, I should inquire where does this start? Where is the origin? What is this starting point? The notion of I. And when you have a liking for a physical things, experience of the senses through the body, that means at that point that I is now strongly associating with the physical body, and through physical body it is trying to satiate itself. It can be emotional ego also. seeking for emotional satisfaction. It can be intellectual ego also, seeking for intellectual satisfaction. It can be physical ego, seeking or trying to have a physical satisfaction. Ultimately, it is one operating through body, mind, and intellect, and trying to seek fulfillment through that. What is its origin? Moolasthanam, Janmasthanam, Janmadesham. Swamiji, what is the purpose of this exercise? Because once you know that, once you know the origin of this and you attack there, let's see here. The next verse is Evam ahankarasya sarva vyavahara jnana hedutvam uktva tasya vyaparena vyapara bedena atma vedana vedai namantarani aranya uttaraha shlokene deha na janati. Okay. This very ahankar, it appears in different forms depending upon what your context is. So that is explained in the next verse, verse number 26. Deho na janati sato na janma deha pramanon anyamudedi madhye ahankriti granti vibandha sukshma Sharira cheto bhava jivanama Deho na janati sato na janma Deha pramanonya udedi madhye Ahankriti granti vibandha sukshma Sharira cheto bhava jivanama. Deha na janati. Body being product of inertness, it doesn't know. We have seen that earlier also. Deha jadam. It is inert. Na janati. See, when you are lying down in a sleep, body doesn't know that you're sleeping. When you are under anesthesia, they may do even a surgery in your body. You have no idea what's going on. When you wake up, okay, I just slept for a few seconds. What happened? 3 hours of surgery is over. Whatever was inside, taken out. Whatever is not inside, you are put in. You have no clue what happened, right? Only when slowly, that anesthesia wears away. Pain. So body, does it know? Deha na janati. Okay, that is one statement. Sataha atmanaha na janma. Body is inert. Atman has no birth. Meaning what? It is eternally there. Inertness cannot be eternally there. Inert, constantly changing, modifying itself, is never permanent, as a beginning and an end, that we know. This is one category. On the other side, we have self, which is never born, always there, unchanging, ever present, all-pervading, all-knowing, self-knowing, self-illuminating. That is the other. So it's totally two contradictory things. Jadam and Chaitanya. You know, Ubayoho Madhye, between these two, udeti. There arises anyaha. There is another one. What is it called? Deha pramana. Deha pramana means at the size of the body. Pramana, measure. In the measure of a body, in the size of the body, it looks like the body. It appears like a body. Appears like a body means what? It pervades the entire body from toe to the top of the head, from the toes to the head. Where do you feel the notion of I? Outside you. Even though you say it's my phone, you don't say iPhone. Okay. It's iPhone, all right. But you do not say iPhone. I'm not the phone. Even though it is iPhone. You say my book, and it's not I am the book. You don't say that. I am the computer. Thank God you don't say that. I am the car. No. You don't say I am the wife. I am my wife. No. I, my wife. I, my child. I, my house. But you don't say, but when it comes to body, I, the body. Very rarely we say my body, because you may say my body is aching, for a reference to others. But when you're feeling what you're saying, I am feeling the pain. So my pain is not going away. You may say that, but where is the pain? I, the pain. Of course, you are the pain. So the pain is not, you don't feel it as something other than you. So the I happens to be of the nature of the looking like the entire body, covers from top to head. Deha pramanaha. So deha na janadi, it is inert. Chaitanya has no janma, it is eternal, constantly present. So in between, there is something which is borrowing the nature of both. Ahankritihi, ahankar. It has many names. What are the names? Ahankriti, granthi, vibhanda, sukshma sharira, chetaha, bhava, jiva, nama. These are all the names. Ahankriti, granthi, vibhanda, sukshma, sharira, cheto, bhava, jiva, nama. So many names. Ahankriti, granthi, vibhanda, sukshma sharira, chetaha, bhava, jiva. I have 7 names. So when, somewhere when you're filling up, what is your nickname? You can write any one of them. Ahankriti is one of my names. Jiva, chetaha, sukshma sharira. So this way. It is referred with many names with respect to the context. Deha na janadi jadatvat. Sato na janma. Satvastunah chidganatvat na utpattihi. Of the nature of consciousness being. So it does not have any birth. Because birth means it was not there before. Or it has come out of something as an effect. If consciousness come out of something, what is the nature of that something from which it came? Consciousness. What is the difference between that consciousness from which it came? See, it is like, I have a chain made of gold, all right? So the chain is also gold. But that chainness of the chain is not the gold. Particular shape and form. That is not gold. That is made out of gold to look like this. But consciousness does not have a father or the mother, because if you say it is born out of something, that out of something when it is born, it must be different from it. If this is consciousness, what is that? And if it is absent, that means what? From where it came from? From absence, it cannot come. So it is the consciousness which has no janma. Ajaya Namaha. When we chant of Gurudev's name, first name is what? Unborn, Ajaya, Avyayaya, Avinashine, Achintyaya, Aprameyaya, Advitiyaya, Aniketaya, Anushasana Priyaya, Antasakshine, Antaryamine, Anandaya, Atmaswarupaya, ityadi. All of them are referring to the self only. So, na janma sataha. Of the nature, the consciousness does not have a birth. So, anya has something else. Udedi madhye. Between madhye means what? Ubayoho madhye, dehatmanoho madhye. Upayoho madhye anudayasya satchidatmanah jadasya dehasya madhye ityartah. In between this, between jada and chetana, between the body and the consciousness, anya. Why it's anya, different? Ubaya vilakshanaha, different from the body, different from the consciousness. You cannot say it is inert, nor you can say it is consciousness. It has the qualities of both. And it's a very peculiar thing. Gurudev calls it unholy wedlock. Because jada or the inert does not have any iota of consciousness. And consciousness does not have an iota of even jadatva, inertness. So that which is not having any jadam in itself, jadatva, and that which does not have even a minuscule of consciousness, in the combination of these two, there is something which is having both. How is that possible? Yes, that is what it is. Deha pramanaha. Deha pramanam yasya saha yavad deha tavan ityartha. This I, this ahankar, inexplicable, unexplainable, but yet it is there. And what do you mean by deha pramana? As I say, from the top of the head to the toes. What does it mean? All pervading from the top to bottom until the body is there. Yavad deha tavan ityartha. It is there. We'll come to that later. What happens at the time of death? When the body is no more, what happens to the hankar then? That we'll see. Udeti jayate. Kaha ayam udeti? Ke jva asya vyapara iti dyotayitum asya vidani namani aha. How is it born? What is its nature? What is its expression and transaction? That's why they have given many names. Ahankriti, Kranti, Vibandha, Sukshma Sharira, Chetaha, Bhava, Jiva, Nam. Ahankaraha, Ahankriti, Ahankaraha. First one is Ahankar. What is Ahankar? Main karta hoon, main bhokta hoon, aham bhokta, aham karta, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I want. I don't want, I like, I don't like. Now tell me, when you take a rasgulla in your hand, is it the body says I want it? No. Is it the consciousness wants it? The self wants it? At the present moment, we say yes. Why? Because we do not distinguish the real self with the notion self. So therefore, I want it. I want the Rasagula. Is it so? Tell me, what wants? Body wants? Your tongue wants? No. Which wants then? Which wants this taste of Rasagula? So if you ask this question, my mind, that is the next one is Chetaha is coming there. My mind wants. Where is it? Is it in the tongue? Is it sitting there? No. It is in the form of an entity within me operating through the body. So the notion of aham is not a locatable particular physical point. It pervades the entire body. Therefore, it is in the form of abhimana, in the form of identification with the inert body. That is what is called ahankriti, aham bhavaha, tadatmya rupaha. Then granthi. Granthi means, literally meaning a rope or a knot. You take A and B and you want to put them together, then you tie them together and put a knot. This knot, K-N-O-T, the knot is that which binds. So what is now the gross body and the Atman, the consciousness, both of them are bound together because of this particular ahankar and binds it. Grantihi. Jada achijjadayoho grantihi. A knot that connects between inertness and consciousness. Vibandha, meaning what? Moksha pradidvandvi. That one which is, vibandha means bondage. That which is not allowing you to be free. This is third name. Fourth name, Sukshma Shariram. It is not the gross body. It is not the this Karana Sharira also. It is in between. Karana Shariram apina, Sula Shariram apina. And therefore it is Chetaha, Manaha, mind. Then next one, Bhava, Samsaraha. Jivaha, Prana Atma, the one living soul. Iti Namani, Yasyasaha. Anya Udeti, Purvena Anya Hanvayaha. So this, but something else is born between these two. Jada, Chit Jadayoho Madhye, between the Chit, consciousness, and Jada, inert. Ahankara Chitatmanaha Sarvyavapakatve api ayam Jada Chetana Madhyavarti Martitvat Ubaya Sambandhi. Even though the consciousness is all pervading, Sarvavyapakatve api Chitatmanaha Ahankaraha Jada Chetana Madhyavarti Madhyavartitvat, being the one which is in the middle. It is upasabaya sambandhi, connected to both. Yavad deha abhimanena vyaptavan iti artha. It restricts the consciousness which is all pervading. By its presence, it restricts itself to the body. Even though the consciousness is all pervading, because that ahankara, it is restricting that all pervading consciousness to only to the limit of the physical body. Oh, it is so powerful. It is enormously powerful. And its power is borrowed power. It is like, you have elected a president. What is the power of the president? Who gave him the power? We. the constitution. If we have elected him to be a president, to sit in the chair, the power that is vested in the chair is given to him by whom? By the nation, by the country, by the people who voted. And not only people who voted for him are under his control, those who did not vote for him is also under his control. We didn't elect him. It doesn't mean that he will not be your president. Whether you elect it or not, if he had got the majority, you will be under his control. Similarly, this ahankar is that having taken the qualities of consciousness, operating through the physical body, restricts the consciousness apparently within the scope of the body. Purva Shastrebhyah Vilakshanam iti vadamuktam yad jada chetana madhye udita ahankaram arthantareshu prasiddhaihi padaihi abhidatte. Even though in the Upanishad it is very clearly given, the same word granthi, vidyade hridaya grantihi chityante sarva samshayaha shiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. It's given in the Upanishad that it is called granthi. There they have said it is the karma granthi. Ajnanam is a granthi, kama, desire granthi, karma granthi. 3 knots of the heart: ignorance, desire, and action. But here put together, it is considered as one, ahankar. Atra dehatmanoho madhye aham padarthasya avasamanatvat ahankradinam upapadyate. Because it is operating through the physical body as a reflection of consciousness. Dehatma bantagatvat chijjada grantihi. Because it is deha atma katvat, bantagatvat. It is it is binding these two together. Therefore, it is called grantihi, chijjada grantihi. And this itself is the vibandha, bondage. Sthulasya sehasya karanasya atmanascha madhyagatatvat sukshma pada vyavaharya. Because it is between these two, between the karana sharira, which is vasanamaya kosha, and the physical body, it is in between these two as well. Therefore, it is neither sthulam nor karanam. Neither it is gross nor it is a cause. Therefore, it is called subtle. It is subtler than the gross body, but it's not karana sharira. So therefore, it's called sukshma sharira. Dehamasritya deha vyavavaratvat shariratvam iti hetoho sukshma shariram iti vamaha. Mana pramanam mana pranatmakasya sukshma sharirasya mana pradhanatvat manaha. It is operating as the mind, as the thought. Therefore, it is referred as manaha or chetaha. Prana vyaparatvat jivaha. Because it is feeling itself as a living presence, therefore it is referred as jivaha. Anavastita janma nidana rupa parimanatvat samsaraha. Because it is the cause for the constant birth and death, therefore it is called jiva, which is samsara. It is also of the nature of transmigratory existence. In this way, there are many different names for this phantom entity called ahankar. And that ahankar is the one which is the cause of the entire suffering and delusion and constant change and all things that we go through. Therefore, inquiring into its reality and its origination is a necessary activity to be done by a sadhaka to overcome the self-created bondage. So that inquiry about that will be the subsequent verses we'll see. in the next session onward. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkhamat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.